Hello, I'm Neeraj. Today I will try to explain the basic architecture of graph neural network. The main aim of graph neural network architecture is to develop some encoder kind of thing so that we can represent or encode or map each of these nodes in a low dimensional vectors. So this is the main ambition, and to achieve this we use the neighborhood aggregation. In the neighborhood aggregation, the major concept is we can use the k level of nodes neighbors, and with the help of neural network and aggregation it is possible to get the some encoded vectors for each of the nodes. So now let us start each of those terms one by one. So first of all, try to understand the key levels of neighbors. In the current concept, this I have taken it from papers directly. They have used two levels of neighbors. So here it is used k equal to 2. If we take k equal to 1, then for any node A, the direct neighbors will be B, C and D. If we take k equal to 2, the second level neighbors for each of those neighbors B, C and D will be, for B you can understand that there are two direct neighbors A and C. Again for C there are four neighbors, so it may be like A, B and then E and F. So there are four neighbors, and for D the secondary level of neighborhood just contains one neighbor A. So this is the architecture. Now to achieve the neighborhood aggregation we take two different things. First is aggregation and second is neural network architecture. So in the case of two levels of neighbors, here you can see that for node A, the first level of neighbors are B, C and D. So it is B, C and D. Second level neighbors, and it means neighbors of B is A and C, neighbors of C A, B, E and F, and neighbors of D is A. So now let us try to understand how actually it works. So here we represented each of those, means we starting input nodes. I have used level 0 to represent the input node, level 1 to represent the first layer neighbors, and layer 2 or L2 to represent the target. So layer 0 represents the input. Here input may be array, or 2D matrix, or 3D matrix, whatever features that you have. For example, in the case of text, if you apply some embedding like word to vec, love embedding, then it will be a 2D matrix. So for each node you will enter either array, 2D matrix or 3D matrix. After that here some aggregation will be applied, and after that we use a neural network. Here it is a neural network. Again here all the informations that are coming through the input layers are connected to some are connected to a neural networks with some aggregation function. Here again it is a neural network, again this is a neural network. One more thing that you can observe, that we have applied self loop on each of these nodes. so that we can not only concentrate on the features which are coming through the neighbors, we can take some bias and consider the features which are present at the same node. So we are considering two things: features that are present on the same node and features which are coming through the neighbors. So now for layer 2, let us try to understand how it works. So I will take the outcome of at this node as HA2 because it is at layer 2, and this is a neural network architecture. We consider the outcomes which are available here as H1B, H1C and H1D, and again the outcomes or that outcomes H1B, H1C and H1D is actually the outcome that is achieved through this aggregation and this neural network architecture. Similarly, H1C is achieved through this neural network architecture and this aggregation of input that is achieved here. And similarly, H1D is this neural network architecture and aggregation achieved through this node. So now how to compute the outcome at A? So outcome at A will be computed as, this is not a square, this is layer 2. Okay, so better to write it like L2 or it is like L1, L1, L1. So don't confuse it, there is no square here. This is a layer. So H2A at layer 2, this is a non-linearity that we achieve through ReLU or NH. Now this is a weight matrix. That weight matrix is actually this matrix which represents those connection weights. And again here we take the average, as we said we take the aggregation. So we take the average of all the outcomes H1B, H1C and H1D that is available here that we achieved through the input layers from this layer. So we will take the H1B plus H1C plus H1D, means all neighbors of node A, and then take the average. Again the next part is bias factor. So this is a bias, and this is again H1 at L1, means this is achieved through the self loop at A, means feature at the self node, same node. So here these two parts are learnable parts. So when we train our deep learning architecture, then these weights and this bias value will be learned. Now to get how to get H1B, that we already discussed, we will take the input, we will use this matrix, we will learn this matrix, we will use the bias for this node, we will take the input matrix here, means similarly we can compute like H1, HL1A, sorry, HL1B we can easily compute. Here it will be like aggregation of input that we are getting, aggregation of input that we are getting through A and C, then bias plus bias on node B, or we can say that it HB0, and then we apply some sigmoid functions like that. We can generalize it all such kind of recursive computations that started from here and we can break it from smaller units, we can represent it through a general equations like this. Here you can see that encoded value at layer k means encoded value of node B at layer k is computed by using this is non-linearity, same as ReLU, 10H or Leaky ReLU, anything that you can use. This is the weight matrix. This is the node which represents nodes which are neighbor to the node V, and V represents the all neighbor nodes, and U is the member of all those neighbor nodes. And here we take the sum of all neighbor nodes and then divide the count with total count. Again, this is a bias, and we take the self loop value of the same node, and this is the way we can compute everything, and this will give you the some encoded value if you represent it like ZA. Similarly, we can get the encoded value of all those nodes. So generally in some research literature you will find that if we increase the k level, k equal to 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you will get slightly better accuracies of node encoding score. And once you get the node encoding scores, it is very easy to predict a lot of things. So the next thing that we can consider here is the aggregation is the final solution for graph neural networks. If you see this architecture, then you will think that still it requires some additional work. For example, suppose if we consider the mean and average, suppose we have a network, simple node with architecture, node blue is connected with node green and node red. Similarly, the different connections, here node D is connected with two green nodes and two red nodes. Both are different architecture, but if you consider here like we have collected the average score, if we calculate the mean or average, in this case you will get the same value, and in that case the encoding outcome or low dimensional vector outcome will have same value for two nodes which are not correct. Similarly, if you left mean and average and instead of that if you compute the max, then in this architecture here node B is connected with G and R, again here node B is connected with G and 2R. Both are different architectures, but max value will give you the same value. So here also encoding will give you the same result. So in some places you may get a similar kind of issues, but still research is going on. Now you may have some questions in your mind that whether A is used here, A is used here, A is used here, and here also. 2 times it is used. Are this A and this A and this A and this A are same? Yeah, nodes are same, but their roles are different. Additional thing that we should consider, you may think that for node A we get this kind of architecture. Suppose we say that for node D, what kind of architecture we will get? Suppose for node D, what kind of architecture we will get? So for node D, the direct neighbor is node A, and again for node A, the direct neighbors are node B and C. So it is like B and C. Similarly, you will get unique representations when you compute the node embedding value by using neighborhood aggregation. For all nodes you will get the different values, different kind of structure. Now, what are the use of such kind of graph neural network? Where we can apply such kind of graph neural network architectures? So we can apply it at several different places, like link predictions, node classification, we can compute it subgraph classification, again node to weight computation, subgraph to weight computation. If you have some relations in the text, for example the chain of response systems, text based response systems, you can apply the graph based system and it will give better results because you will have a lot of interconnections between responses. For example, you can apply it in a lot of things like humor detections, where all the responses and replies are connected with each other, and those connections also plays very important role other than the text based features. So you can apply it in several bioinformatics architectures where some connections are there. You can apply it for some physics based rules also. So these are the some applications area of graph based neural network architecture, and in the next tutorial I will try to explain about the mathematics behind the entire computations, like how we compute all those things.